like to jump right straight into it without waste of
Take it away.
time. Thank you very much. Welcome everyone to Trending Down segment right here on TVC Breakfast, where we let you know what is going on the world of social media. We begin with, of course, the PDP crisis raging within the party, which deepened on Tuesday as the NWC faction loyal to the FCT minister Nyesom Wike announced the expulsion of Oyo State Governor Sheyi Makinde, the Bauchi Governor Bala, Zamfara Governor Dauda Lawal, Bode George, and several others. The move came on the day both factions clashed at the PDP National Secretariat Wadata Plaza, Abuja, where they held parallel INEC or NEC and BOT meetings. Security operatives loyal to each side reportedly exchanged blows with tear gas fired at both camps, which struggled for control of the secretariat. Now, Governor Makinde arrived with the newly elected National Secretary Taufik Arabaja, while Wike-backed Samuel Ayao, who insists his tenure runs until December the 8th, 2025. Governor Makinde has since reacted to the incident and would like to let you see that.
The issue is we don't believe in a one-party Nigeria. We believe that our founding fathers, they gave us a multi-party democracy. We must sustain it so that Nigerians can have options when they are choosing their leaders. That is the issue. I don't want to talk about individuals, and I don't want to talk about events.
Of course, the options of which party to vote for is what Nigerians are looking for, but in what is going on, you all are making it a bit difficult for us to so do. But you had a lot of things to say about it as usual, and these are some of the things you had to say on X. And Olumide is saying this is utterly shameful at a time when the nation is gripped by a crisis of insecurity and increasing poverty. The PDP's internal collapse is a direct dereliction of its duty to provide a strong opposition. Nigeria loses when the alternative to the ruling party is in chaos. Well said, Olumide. And journalists against, okay. Gradually, politicians are digging the grave of democratic governance in Nigeria. The chaos that engulfed the defunct action group between two rival factions loyal to Chief Obafemi Awolowo and Chief Akintola, respectively, laid the foundation for the collapse of the First Republic. And the final tweet on this matter, coming from Omo, the chaos at the PDP Secretariat shows a party in deep crisis, with the Makinde, Wike, and Bala deploying rival forces and tear gas. Naturally, or neutrality is in question. PDP leaders must restore order immediately before this leadership tussle damages the party beyond repair. We had quite a lot to say about this, so we'll move on quickly to our next story this morning. A lot has been said, so let's move on. Now to education. The Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASUU, has announced plans to shut down all public universities in Nigeria indefinitely from Friday. Now, according to the union, while stating this in its X handle, the federal government's failure to fully implement agreements on salaries and funding, this follows their October suspension of a warning strike and a one-month ultimatum that expired without resolution. It's not looking good for our education sector, but as usual, you had a lot to say, and this is some of the things you said. Black Prince, with all this needless strike, after graduating, employers will be asking for my brother, working experience and must be below the age of 25. Who is fooling who? Man, that's an absolutely brilliant submission. I like that, sir. Divine, I think this is. It's not even funny. My school has postponed resumption till 30th of this month instead of 17th. Now this, make I just pack my load, go back Lagos, I beg. Obviously, he's not schooling in Lagos. Brad Note is saying the ASUU announcement just confirmed my suspicion. Nigerian universities treat the academic calendar less like schedule and more like a suggestion. Etoma, Ria, and Emmanuel, ASUU is really taking serious this time around. If the federal government does not do anything quickly, it might be a long strike.
You see, this is the reason why some of us had to move our kids from public universities to private universities, thinking that that is where we'll get value for our money. But the private universities just give us a low blow, just give us a low blow too. I am appealing to the federal government and ASUU, you know, to come together and think Nigeria. Let us think of the betterment of our country and the development of the education sector.
Well, you know that, Nelson, ASUU has gone on about 18 strikes, and I'm wondering what is really the problem. Whenever these strikes are taken, students are suffering because they miss the academic year. Now, let's look at students that are doing medicine. You know, how long do they need to now be in the university when they graduate, you know, and they want to face the workforce? It's just so many reasons why we should not be having ASUU go on strike. Now, they've been demanding for so many things. I'm hoping that at this point, we get to give them their demands. Oftentimes, we've seen the way lecturers are treated. We also know that some lecturers are treated poorly. Let's give these people what they need, because every country needs education. Education is very important. Without education, you cannot really build a nation. Students are really complaining on social media, on X. You see how they're complaining of how they spend long years in school. While I was in Ghana, some of the reasons why we see Nigerian students in Ghana, they'll tell you because of the ASUU strike. Then I did not understand what ASUU strike was until I got to Nigeria. So I'm just hoping that, you know, we are able to resolve this. Education is key. We need to prioritize education.
Yeah. Part of ASUU's demand is the renegotiation of the 2009 agreement. ASUU is still talking tough concerning this agreement in 2009. So it's not a thing of now. This battle has been on. We hope to see how this will be resolved anytime soon. They also rejected the 35% increase, salary increase. ASUU is demanding quite a lot for better welfare of workers in the country. Well, when two elephants fight, the grass suffers. So the students are the ones who are suffering, who will bear all this. When we were in school, we recall that we had this issue of ASUU strike, and we said, our children, are they going to go through this particular route to suffer ASUU strike? Thomas said, that is why we are moving our children from the public school to the private school. Is that the way out? I am expecting a day when the members in the House of Representatives, the senators, will pass a bill that all public office holders in this country, once you are in office, your children must go through the public schools. That will end this issue of ASUU strike that we are seeing in Nigeria.
Public schools are supposed to be top-notch. At the end of the day, it's not like public school is like a death sentence. They are supposed to be top-notch.
Because not everyone can afford to pay the fees of private universities. So where does it leave other Nigerians? But I think we've handled that. Thank you very much, team. Let's move now to our next matter on the table. This time around, the blows that existed between Martins and his colleague, Mr. Jollof. He has come out to apologize following the confrontation with both of them on an airplane, widely caused delays on a United Nigeria's Airlines flight. In an Instagram post video on Tuesday, Martins acknowledged his role in the incident and took full responsibility for the disruption, where he did not guarantee that conflicts will never arise in the future. He assured that such disruptions would not occur in public spaces like flights and buses. This is what he had to say.
I acted really, really irresponsible, and I am very, very, very sorry. I apologize to the people that maybe look up to me, and I apologize to everyone that might be disappointed in me for what happened yesterday. I am really, really, really sorry. Now, I cannot guarantee that it will not happen again. I can only guarantee that it will not happen on the plane, on the bus, or in a public place that will stop people from going to their destination of business or destination of interest, you know, but I cannot guarantee anybody that it will not happen again.
Well, as usual, you had a lot to say about this, and we'd like to bring some of that to you this time. GK, we forgive you. Normally, you're not a tactician, but that move yesterday wasn't tactical at all, but you still be human. Last, it takes a real man to own up to his mistakes. And so she says here, respect. Okay. Susan apologizing and catching crews. This guy is not serious. Yeah. And Alisata, VDM, we gather the some languages, please. It takes a man to own up to his own mistakes. No man is perfect and beyond mistakes. Of course, Etoma, Ria and Emmanuel, he, like Jollof yesterday, came out to apologize. Both of them have now and finally apologized. I think we should forgive them and move on, isn't it?
Yes, apologies are not just words. They are the things that back the words, the emotions that back it. He looks apologetic and so on, but I veered off a little bit, though I was getting impressed, and I veered off when he said, I cannot guarantee it won't happen anymore. That means so it can happen in your house, it can happen somewhere else, or things like that. Why don't you just apologize clean and clear? But it's good you came out to apologize, though.
You know, Nelson, I was listening attentively. I was so happy. I was so excited, you know. And then I heard that it can still happen. We don't support violence. Like, nobody is saying go and beat anybody. At the end of the day, we should be our brother's keeper. Like, nothing is what you going personal. And these are people that have brands. Mr. Jollof has a brand. He as well has a brand. So you're wondering that people are looking up to you. Are you teaching the young ones to be fighting in public? What are you really teaching the young ones? Those are questions that we have to ask. I'm not against anybody here, but I feel like some things are not just supposed to be said. Because what do you mean that it will happen somewhere else again? And
that is why I'm saying that VDM is not remorseful with this apology that he has tendered. I raised it here yesterday that he should apologize when Mr. Jollof has done his own part. But with what he said at the moment, that means we can see any African romance at any point in time. This is different from the aircraft that you can even do it anywhere at the moment. But this is, for me, this is not an apology. He's saying that it can happen again. So that means he still supports violence, and we are saying no to this act. VDM, I have said it many times, that he's been overrated. A lot of people are looking up to you. So you have to be a good role model to young people who are looking up to VDM. So, but with what he has said this morning, this is not an apology.
Violence whatsoever.
You know, with his track record, I really wonder the persons who are really looking up to him. But,
no, but the thing is that Nelson, when VDM started, he started in a good way. He started with NAFDAC. He started in a good way. Let's get it right. I just don't know why he deviated it a bit, but Absolutely. He started right. Let's give that to him.
Anyways, thank you very much, as usual, for your input on the matter. This one now is a bit of a sad one. A young lady has taken to social media to accuse a private hospital of overcharging her late mother during treatment. She alleged that the hospital billed 170,000 naira for just 2 pints of blood, an amount she said should not exceed 50,000 naira. Now, according to her, despite the high costs, her mother eventually passed away. She claims the hospital is now demanding 2.5 million naira before releasing the body to the family. This incident has sparked outrage online, with many calling for a full investigation into the hospital's billing prices and treatment procedures. Let's hear what the lady had to say.
Registration alone, they say 20K, no problem. Consultation, 50K, even though we did not do consultation. Nursing care, 50,000. Utility, 60,000. Investigation, 204,000. They did not even do, they did not cut out open, they did not do surgery. Intravenous fluid, 68,000. Procedure, 600,000. Blood, 170,000. How much do they sell blood again? Okay. Domiciliary visit. I don't know what that means.
You know, this is really sad. If they were struggling with 170,000, you now ask for 2.5 million. You had a lot of things to say about this, and we'd like to show you some of those conversations. Vera Niger, this is the wickedness that is killing Nigeria faster than any recession. How do you charge a dying woman 170,000 for blood, lose her, and then demand 2.5 million before releasing her corpse? That's not health care. That's extortion with a license. Turns grief into business. Sad, really sad. Victor, what is good for the goose is good for the ganja. Sometimes we blame the government, but we aren't, or we ourselves are the problem too. Nigerians are wicked. Not all, my brother. How can you be so heartless to a grieving woman like this? You couldn't save her mother, yet you still want to extort her. Wickedness. I agree. And Dr. Tere Abi, please prioritize having a healthcare insurance. Nigerians are insufferable. Going live online against the hospital is criminal. Let us stop being emotional and sensational all the time. Apply for NHIS. Put pressure on all forms of government. Nigerians, we should be wise. I'm just wondering, my dear doctor, how wise you want us to be at Toma, Ria, and Emmanuel. We're talking about money and life here.
Yes, in this particular case, I don't like being emotional about it. For me to take my mother or anybody that's close to me to a hospital, I would have researched the hospital first. And my first thing I want to know about the hospital is how much they charge for what service. If it is not commensurate with what I have in my pocket, I look for another hospital. You had a choice, but you chose that hospital.
So I'm going to take the emotional side, because at the end of the day, I've said it a lot of times on this table. When I speak on this, then they're like, oh, hospital is a business. But also, when you have an institution like a hospital, you also need to care about the people. I always say it's not all about money. This is actually a very sad story. You know, at the end of the day, you pay so much, the person is dead, and the person is grieving. Look at what is happening. I don't want to go deep into this, but the hospital, I have no words.
Well, it's a sad story concerning this event that has happened to this young woman. We say may her soul rest in peace. But next time, if you want to use any hospital, just ensure you check their bills before bringing in your patient into that particular hospital. For Lagos, we have what we call Ilera Eko. And someone said something about health insurance. There are a lot of initiatives out there that you can key into to ensure that you get good health care, especially in Lagos.
Indeed. Thank you very much, team, for that wonderful contribution. Let's now move to the next matter on the agenda. Tanzania's President, Samia Hassan, has appointed her daughter and son-in-law to key positions in her latest government lineup. In a nationwide address on Monday following her re-election in the October 29 polls, Mrs. Hassan unveiled 27 ministers and 29 deputy ministers. Her daughter, Wanu Hafia, will serve as Deputy Minister for Education, Science and Technology, while her husband, Mohammed, has been appointed Health Minister. Mrs. Hassan's victory has sparked controversy amid protest and internet shutdown and a government crackdown on demonstrators. The opposition party, Chadema, whose candidate, Tundu Lissu, was barred from the election, alleges that about 700 people were killed and refuses to acknowledge her presidency. Now, the United Nations has urged a thorough investigation into the reported deaths, warning that some evidence may be suppressed. Wow. This is looking like what happened in the United States during Donald Trump's first tenure. But you had a few things to say about it, and let's show you just about that. The Designated Survivor. Boy, I love that. It's a nice movie. I lost it when all her opposition leaders were in jail during elections. The definition of working smart, not hard. They want to turn democracy into dynasty. Because what do we mean, or what do you mean, your daughter and son-in-law? Well, I couldn't agree more with you, but that's about that. Let's now get to our